What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hey, this is your host with the PPP Panthers Prime Podcast. Hey, man. Hope y'all doing good, man. Hey, we back. Yeah, man, we back, baby. Hey, we back. Hey, it's a lot of stuff to talk about, man. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. Rockhead, what's up, man? What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Yeah, Omar, hey, man. David Tepper did it to us, man. David Tepper did it to us, man. Yeah, he did it. He did it. Hey, we gonna get it to him, Bobby. Yeah, praying for big blessings for Carolina. Hey, man, you should have started praying when we got David Tepper as an owner, man. It's been downhill since then, man. Hey, I'll tell you what it is, man. You can't do Cam Newton wrong. You can't do Ron Rivera wrong. You can't do all these great players that we've done wrong and think you're gonna have success here. Ain't gonna work, man. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. What's up? Hey, I know a guy that knows a guy. Yeah, that can do the work. Yeah. Keep pounding. That's right, man. That's right. That's right. Hey. Yeah, it's gonna go. That's right. Hey, I'm a Wolf Warrior. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. We should have hired him, but hey, that's water under the bridge right now. But we're gonna talk about some stuff, man. We're gonna talk about some stuff real quick, man. I ain't like what I heard from Chris Tabor. I ain't like it at all. It felt very stool pigeonish. It felt very forced. It felt like he was trying to save his job. Even though Steve Wilks saved his job last year. We're going to get into it. Keep our hands up, baby. Keep looking to the heels, man. To the A. Total waste, man. Scott A. I think that's going to happen next. So let's get into this content real quick, man. Let's get into it real quick. So, real quick, guys, if y'all haven't, of course, I know you guys probably have, but if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to Panthers Prime Podcast. We're making moves, making strides. I got some stuff cooking, man. I've been up all night long working on some stuff behind the scenes. So you guys may have a way to go ahead and directly text me in the community section. Stuff I'm working on right now. Got a domain coming with a website, and we may turn this thing into something bigger than what it is right now. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But I appreciate everybody who has subscribed and has been rocking with Panthers Prime Podcast since January 26th. I really do appreciate it, guys. So let's get into it real quick. So, of course, you guys know David Tepper had his press conference this morning. It was tap dancing, T-E-P dancing, all over questions. Wouldn't give, and Scott Fowler is pissed right now. They told Scott, you can't even ask a question. They said, put your hand down. Put your hand down. They told Scott he can't even ask a question, man. Yeah. Couldn't even ask a question, man. It was a waste, man. It really was. It was a waste of time, man. He ain't answered no questions that we wanted answered. I really wish that they would have went ahead and asked him about Scott Fitterer early, and let's get that out the way and let's drill him with those questions, because the stuff he was talking about, it was a collective effort, this, that, the other. It couldn't have been a collective effort, because if it was, Chris Tabor wouldn't have fired Deuce Staley, and Josh McCown. That's my theory. That's what I feel. I feel like everybody who was rocking with CJ Stroud is up out of there. Everybody who's rocking with Bryce stayed. And I feel like the coaches that they feel, you got to think about this. Every coach that's still there, for the most part, actually interviewed, except for Don Capers. Jim Caldwell interviewed. You had Thomas Brown, who interviewed for it. You had Evero, who interviewed for it. So those three candidates who actually interviewed for the position are still there. Yeah. Be careful who you hire. Yeah, they may just be your replacement. But anyway, so real quick, let me show you some love. Off the Porch Podcast. What's up, man? How you doing, man? What's going on? Antonio, I'm proud of you. Keep doing. Hey, I'm trying to do it, man. I'm trying to do it up, man. I really am. I appreciate you guys. Poppy, that's enough. They tired of Poppy. They show love. They show no love to Sheena. Hey, man, listen, man. I respect what Sheena and Vashti, are doing, man. 704, they got some good products over there as well, man. This ain't no plug like they need a plug. I mean, they're well known, but I really like what they're doing. I like how they how they give us the step-by-step, plays and stuff like that during the game on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, man, and just vibrant, well knowledgeable, African-American women, man, in sports. So, hey, big ups to Sheena, big ups to Vashti, man, for real. Omar, what's up, man? What's up, man? Yeah, what's going on with your boss, man? What you say, man? Nobody has left me. Listen. Hey. Yo, that's the coldest line I've ever had. I'm going to start using that on people. I'm going to start, you want to leave me? Ain't nobody left me in 30 years. Yeah, I'm going to start using that, man. I'm going to start using that, man. Yeah, man. All right. So, of course, you guys know that we had the press conference today, right? And then Chris Tabor came afterwards, and he was asked a question about the previous, why Frank Wright was fired, right? He didn't really want to get into it, which I understand. You don't want to shed light, even though you may know you don't want to shed light. But the one thing that I feel the NFL is horrible with, they will push you to lie and to not tell the truth before you tell the truth, right? So whatever it may be, and in this case, we all know that Steve Wilks orchestrated a comeback season for us last year, right? 12 games, went 6-6. I mean, put it together pretty good. Almost got us to a home playoff game after a 1-5 season start, man. So in that Seattle game, everybody remember the emotions that Steve Wilks had during the Seattle game. Nobody expected us to go into Seattle and win that game. Nobody. We came in there, we wrecked house under Steve Wilks, under Al Holcomb. Yeah. Let's talk about Big Al, light skin Al, right? Yeah, let's talk about that, because obviously the Carolina Panthers will just want these names, or at least Steve Wilks' name, to die, right? So today, like they do all the time, because the Carolina Panthers is so forward-thinking with their media team, they decided to have a introductory, I guess, interim interview with the interim head coach, Chris Tabor. All right? And I like what Chris said for the most part. The one thing and I know it's politics when it comes down to anything with the NFL, but I just don't like how he answered this one question, and it leads me to believe, it just gives me that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make nobody mad. Listen, you're on a 1-10 team right now. You're probably not going to be back next year, quite possibly, when there's a new coaching staff, right? Let's just be honest. The Carolina Panthers are probably going to clean house. Everybody. There's not going to be no rollover if we bring an outside coach. If we elevate one of these coaches, Evero, Jim Caldwell, or Thomas Brown to it, then maybe so, because there's a level of, familiarity in that coaching staff right now. But make no mistake about it. If there's a new coach, Ben Johnson, Brian Johnson, who knows what's going to happen by February or January 22nd, when we're able to legally, up under the NFL rules, go and actually have an in-person interview. Who knows, right? So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up this interview that they had today for the Carolina Panthers, and I just want y'all to listen to this one part. And it just irked me to my core. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Let's roll it real quick.
Anish Roth here with Chris Tabor, special teams coordinator turned interim head coach. Not the situation you want to know when you take over, but what was your sort of first message to the rest of the coaching staff in the locker room?
The message was, we have a job to do, and we're all pros, and we have to handle ourselves like pros. It is a tough spot. You haven't won as many games as what you wanted to. You've had some injuries and those things, but it has to be next man up. And I expect you just to do your job at the highest level. And it's my job to help you achieve that. And if we can work on that together, then we give ourselves a chance to put ourselves in position to win.
When you go back to last year being in this position, what did you feel changed that allowed the Panthers to get on a bit of a run?
Stop right there. All right. Now, at this moment, this is your opportunity to really shed light on multiple things. But the one thing that you can shed light on is how good Steve Wilks put together this team that was broken, just traded away, CMC, coach get fired, Robbie Anderson gone mid-game. The next day he's released. All this stuff is happening, right? Listen to his answer to this question right here.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. Okay. You were there though, but it's hard to say. Let's keep going.
Because I think when you comment on things like that, I think you're maybe saying negative things about what happened previously, and I never like going there. I just think you don't want to call it luck, but I think.
All right. You don't want to call it luck. You don't want to call it luck. So what is it? If it's not luck, then what is it? You see, I look at words very, very, very closely whenever people are speaking, I want to get the actual nuance on how they're actually saying certain things to kind of get a grasp of where they're trying to possibly go to, maybe trying to allude, because people like to allude stuff because we don't like the hard conversations. But for him to say, well, I wouldn't call it luck, then what would you call it, Chris? What would you call what happened last year up under Steve Wilks? What would you call that? If it ain't luck, what is it? Let's keep going.
You finally see your preparation and your work, and it all kind of comes together, and then you start making some plays. And then in this game, it's about confidence. And then guys begin to get more confident, and all of a sudden you get on a roll. So hopefully we can just kind of continue to work on our process and keep working to get better, because that's what we're supposed to do. And then maybe we can turn the tide.
All right. So let's go back to last year real quick. Let's go back to last year real quick, right? Steve Wilks gets hired on after Matt Rule gets fired, right? I'm going to pull up this real quick, and I want y'all to read this real quick. Now, he said he didn't want to call it luck, and he also didn't want to even say the name of the person who allowed him. Let's go to it real quick. Is it this one right here? Let's see if it's this one right here. Is it this one? Nope. It's going to be on the Panthers website. That's right. See, that's why I love Carolina Panthers website. You can go back and just look at stuff and see stuff. So let's take a look at this. This was last year when Steve Wilks took over as interim, right? The Carolina Panthers interim head coach Steve Wilks has begun adjusting the coaching staff. Defensive coordinator Phil Snow, and assistant special teams coach Ed Foley will not be with the team anymore. The assistant coach is not going to be here. You still kept your job, even though all three phases of this team was trash last year, right? It was horrible. You still kept your job, though, Chris. Let's move on. Let's go to this right here. Let's end this tab, and let's go to this tab right here. Yeah, we're gonna walk this down, because what I don't like, what I hate so much, is when people, forget. Forget how things really played out, man, because of the now situation. Here it is. Carolina Panthers interim head coach. Now, this is after the Bengals game. Y'all remember that? We got totally dismantled. Carolina Panthers interim head coach Steve Wilks made Monday morning made coaching changes after the club's 42-21 blowout loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, we got rid of the cornerbacks coach, Evan Cooper, defensive line coach, Paul Pasquale, whatever his name is. All right. Now, this coach joined 2020. I think Chris Tabor came in 2021 or 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, all within that same year. It was in Matt Rule's era. But Chris, your job was saved. Steve Wilks didn't can you. Special teams wasn't good. I don't understand why there's so much hate. Well, no, I'm not going to say I don't understand. I understand. I understand why they don't bring up his name. And it's a guilt thing. When you do something wrong to somebody, you have this guilt that follows you. You may not show it in public to people, right? It may not be displayed outwardly to people who may see you. But when you lay your head at night on that pillow, you know for a fact. And this 1-10 record shows you emphatically that you, David Tepper, messed up. So because I messed up and because I have so much, pride in my heart, I have so much, disdain for what I've done. Because make no mistake about it, he feels like an idiot for letting Steve Wilks walk. The 49ers right now are going to the playoffs. Make no mistake about it. If they're going to play the Eagles this week, if Steve Wilks' defense gets after the Eagles this week, you know, David Tepper, that you definitely messed up. You know that. You know that. The man had success last year. The defense looked good. And you know that he installed his defense last year along with Al Holcomb. You know that. So, Chris, your job was saved last year, bruh. You don't want to call it luck. Why would that even come out your mouth? You should have said emphatically, Steve Wilks got us rallied up as the head coach, and we marched down to a 6-6 final record up under his tenure here as the interim head coach. Now, Chris, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really like you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really like you. All that. Listen, we always get sentimental. We always get, googly and feeling fuzzy or whatever. They got the nice little elevator music playing behind the interview. That's cool. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't go 3-3 as the interim head coach, I hope you don't come back as the Carolina Panthers anything. Special teams, nothing. Because you had an opportunity to say something. This man did not fire you last year. He kept your job. You kept your job. You wasn't canned when you should have been canned. Special teams was horrible last year. That 1-5 stretch, horrible. Horrible. It was horrible before Steve Wilks took over. David Tepper knows for a fact. He knows for a fact that he messed up, man. So David Tepper is burying, because even the interviewer, his question was, why do you think we had so much success last season after everything that happened? Why didn't you say, why didn't we have so much success last year? Why did we have so much success? Because we know where the success came from. The success wasn't during Matt Rule. The success was during Steve Wilks. But you can't say his name. You better not say his name. You better not give Steve Wilks praise. You better not do it. You better not do it. Just like you better not ask whether or not Scott Fitter's is going to be here. Like you better not allow Scott Fowler to ask a question. It's like a big mafia, kid. Like it's it's freaking crazy, man. It's crazy. This is why the Carolina Panthers, Carolina Panthers have done so much wrong to players, coaches, especially up under David Tepper's tenure. I saw what Trey Boston wrote. Trey Boston talking about he's the best owner. Man, listen, you only had 2 owners, right? You only had 2 owners. So are you saying your whole time with Jerry Richardson was horrible? Is that what you're saying, Trey Boston? You think that the times, now I don't know what happened behind the scenes as far as all the, sexual stuff or whatever, all that allegations that was going on or whatever. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff. But the stuff I seen on paper, as far as us winning and losing, there's no way you had a better time up under David Tepper as owner, talking about staying on business, than you had with Jerry Richardson when y'all actually was worth something, when the Carolina Panthers was actually worth watching. It makes no sense at all, man. We as fans, and I know people are going to say it's over with now. And you're right, it is over with. It is over with. Steve Wilks ain't coming back here to be no head coach. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen because David Tepper has so much pride. Now, he didn't. Now I'll say this. He swallowed his pride and he brought back Cam Newton. But, man, why would he want to come back after you after you did him dirty? Like, why would I come back to a shorty who cheated on me? Like, why would I do that? You cheated on me. You did me dirty. Why would I come back to you and allow myself to be vulnerable again to you? Why would anybody who left the Carolina Panthers organization come back to be vulnerable to David Tepper? David Tepper is going to have to spin out a bag to get a head coach. No one has left him in over 30 years. Lies. Tell me why year 2. Your I think the person right up under you dipped, left, got up out of here. Then we started seeing all this stuff going on. You brought in Charlotte FC, coaches leaving. Tepper, Ben Johnson came and left. You're not a pleasant person, man. It's evident. It doesn't seem like you're a pleasant person, man. It doesn't seem like you allow people to do what they've been doing for a long period of time. You want to micromanage people. And to your detriment, that's the reason why the Carolina Panthers now have a losing record up under you. See what you guys saying real quick. Carolina first. What's up? Yeah, man. There's a long line of it, man. Hey, man. You know, I try to preach a little bit. I'm just tired. I'm tired of the dumb stuff, man. I'm tired of the stupid stuff with Carolina, man. It's dumb. It makes no sense at all, man. David Tepper said today Bryce will lead this team, and that's we got a franchise guy. I mean, yeah, we do. It's no going around that. Bryce is going to be here. You know, Bryce is going to be here, and David Tepper is going to. The only way he's going to be able to right this ship, you have to have a head coach come in that believes in Bryce. You got to. You got to have a head coach who believes in Bryce, believes in, you know, this vision that quote unquote Frank, Thomas Brown, and Scott Fitterer only had, and then only alluded to David Tepper right before the draft. Yeah, okay, let's go get him. Like your hand wasn't in it from the get-go. Stop lying to us, man. Your hand was in this from the beginning, yo. Yeah. Bryce Young talk that smooth talk. Say he was talking 15 minutes about his weekly schedule, and in 20 minutes he only got to Wednesday. What? Or Tuesday. Yeah, I'd have been like, yo, son, okay, yeah, we get it. Yeah, that's cool, man. But the eye test, in my opinion, was always greater with CJ Stroud. Now, like I said, I have a lot of faith in Bryce. I do. I think Bryce Young is going to do great things. I think Bryce Young just needs an offensive line. I think Bryce Young just needs weapons around him. I think Bryce Young needs a better O-line. I think Bryce Young, hey, I just seen, who was it? Was it Kenyon Drake, if I'm not mistaken? Some running back just got released from somewhere. I want to see if Chris Tabor's going to make that move. Or if he's going to stick with Miles Sanders for the rest of the year. That's what I want to see. We're going to go 6-0. Bryce will be unleashed. Okay. Air Bryce. Let's go 6. Okay. 6-0. Okay. In the presser, he gave all the praises to Frank. All of them. All the praises to Frank. Every last bit of praise was going to Frank. It's a pending lawsuit. They can't talk about it nor mention his name. Well, I'll say this. If it is a pending lawsuit, if that is the case, then that's what they get. That's what they get. That's what happens when you do people dirty. You know, that's what happens when you do stuff on the slide tip. You know, you gotta, you know, the pie in the face factor always comes full circle when you do someone dirty. That's why I try to do everybody. Hey, I don't try to get over on nobody. You do me dirty, hey, that's cool. Go about your way. As long as you don't physically touch me, physically hurt me, we good. Talking that rah-rah, hey, go ahead. That's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. But when you physically do something wrong to somebody, like that stuff comes back, man. And you see, less than a season later, in mid-season, you had to eat crow and fire your golden child head coach, first quarterback in Carolina Panthers history, all-star coaching staff, right? Yeah, that's eating crow. Yeah, that's pie in the face right there. That's pie in the face. It was theater. Yeah, I know, right? Scott is here to stay. Scott keeps Tabor for the inside guy. Tabor's still, yeah, I don't like Tabor. I don't. I was Richardson was Yeah. I'll give it to Diddy. That Brazilian score is destroying his fan base. It is, man. It is. Yeah. Exactly. Plenty of executives have bailed on him, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Then I'm gonna open it up for you guys to come on stage. We ain't gonna be here too long. You know, I did a pretty long live yesterday and today, so you know, we ain't gonna be here too long. I just wanted to drop this on you guys because I felt it was real disrespectful, man. Even if they are in some type of, you know, whatever lawsuit or whatever, yo, I like that David Terror. Yeah, I like that a lot right there. TBP, FPP, don't feed into. Hey, Poppy, cool with me, man. Billy Tepper and the coaches would do whatever is needed and try to make Bryce Young a success. Also, Panthers picked the wrong QB. Yeah. I mean, but hey, let's be totally honest. And, you know, that's why I like to compartmentalize everything, man. This offensive line is trash. Like, I don't care who's behind center. You cannot give a quarterback 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 seconds to look at 3 routes. You just can't. It's not going to work. Who's that? All right, I'm going to bring you up in a little bit. I'm going to bring you up, D. You can't do that. You cannot allow your quarterback to only have 2-point-something seconds to get the ball out on consecutive drives. Like there's no wall being set up for Bryce. No one's holding for him. And I always use this illustration. The 49ers over there with them boys, hey, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, has at least about 2-3 steps from the back of his offensive lineman. Not like how Bryce, where the defensive lineman can reach over the offensive lineman, reach over Bryce's back and grab his jersey from the back. That's how close these guys are. And you're saying that any quarterback or CJ Stroud, if CJ Stroud was here, he would have done better? Nah, not true. Don, what's up, man? I mean, D, what's up, man?
Thank you for having me. I had a little moment from work. I wanted to come in and join for a second.
All right. How you doing, man?
To be quite honest, man, I've been on a roller coaster ever since about 10:45, 10:50 this morning. After listening to a man tell me the truth, lie to me some more, then try to convince me he ain't lying. It was ridiculous to me. But I was thankful because while we had really been sitting here for like the last 6 years trying to figure out what the problem is, that press conference today explained what the problem has been for the last 6 years. And I feel that this civil war that ended up taking place that we all thought was going on, it was all but confirmed. It was telling that the interviewers were not allowed to ask the questions that they wanted to ask.
Facts.
Scott Fitterer was off limits. The main telling part to me was when they said that Tabor and somebody woke up Jim Caldwell out the corner long enough to get rid of Deuce Staley and Josh McCown. That lets me know that from training camp up to this point, there was some heated conversations, man. Because if I didn't have a personal problem with you and this had just happened, and I know that you have a wealth of football knowledge and you have a relationship with Bryce at this point, there is no way in the world that I'm going to let you go when I'm trying to survive for 6 games. And after that 6 games, there's a possibility we don't have to see each other anymore. So for them to have that inept need to get them out the door because they didn't agree with them and there was some disagreement somewhere was very, very telling to me. And quite honest, I'm glad everything has come to a head because we can't start to heal until we start to get some of this stuff straight. Is Chris Tabor the guy to steer us the rest of the way? I don't know. I'm just watching, taking a watch and see approach for the rest of the way. But I can't guarantee you this. Them boys is not going to play for him like old Stevie Wilks did. That's all. That's exactly how I feel about the whole situation. I was hoping with this press conference that simply I would get something like, hey, my bad. I thought the stuff that I tried to implement and do would help, and it didn't. And I know that y'all been patient, but I need you to be patient a little longer while I figure this thing out. And I got more of, hey, I can sell out arenas. I gave you Beyonce, dog. I gave you Bruce Springsteen. But you're not telling me, like, how in the world we gonna win this situation? Like, you sat there and told, nobody's left me in 30 years. And none of that stuff I care about. All I want you to tell me is what process are you going to take about a coach? Are you waiting till the end of the year to fire Scott Fitterer? And if you're not waiting till the year, what is it about Scott Fitterer to you that gives you hope that we can be okay? Because that whole press conference, outside of some of the other things that kind of stung when he started talking about the process with Stroud and Bryce and them, the main thing that killed me was when the question was asked, what are your plans to stabilize this franchise and to continually stabilize this franchise? And he went into the jungle. When I first got here, we only did 12 concerts and live events, and now we're at 42. And the top of my head blew straight off because I don't understand what that has to do with football.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? I really don't.
Yeah. Hey, real quick,
So
your boy.
it's like at the end of the day,
hold on. Let me get your boy Sleep Bay caught up to what we're talking about. So Chris Tabor had an interview today, man, with one of the game day announcers. And the game day announcer asked him, so what was the success factor, or what caused the success last year, basically for the Carolina Panthers? And, he didn't say Steve Wilks' name. He didn't want to say, well, it was Steve Wilks that, rallied us together. It was almost like, don't say that name ever again in this building. But Steve Wilks was the one that saved your job. He fired your assistant coach, your assistant special teams coach. He fired him, helped you. And you can't even say Steve Wilks was the one who got us rallied together, who got the ship going for the last 12 games and brought us almost to a playoff win or a playoff game. So I feel like David Tepper feels a sense of, well, I just don't want to say his name because I know I was wrong. I know I did him dirty. It's a good thing.
That's 1,000%.
Yeah,
that's 1,000%. And as far as Tabor, he just bought that brand new pair of knee pads. He can't go against Daddy, and he just got the spot. So he's saying everything that David wants him to say. Mm-hmm. That's just the simple fact of the matter. I know the casual fan, anybody that was even looking at it in the glance in the last 2 years knew that we had found our head coach around about week 8 of last year, week 9 of last year. We knew we had our head coach. We might want 100% because we just didn't know how everything was going to play out. But at the end of the day, we knew Steve Wilks was our coach. But the way that they sold it to get your mind off Steve Wilks, we're drafting a quarterback, so we're going to need an offensive type of guru, and that cancels Steve Wilks out already in the equation. But what they didn't realize is Panther fans are not just stupid. We're not stupid people. We watch the sport, and there's a lot of knowledgeable Panther fans out there. And we already knew that the way them guys ran through walls for Steve Wilks, you can't just bring anybody and get that type of result. That's something that's, when they do that true definition of leader of men, that term they like to throw around all the time, Steve Wilks was actually the personification of leaders of men. And one thing about a leader of men is a leader of men will never be compromised into a situation to be a yes man. That's why he was never the fit for the Carolina Panthers as Dave Tepper as the owner.
Facts. Steve Wilks wasn't a yes man.
Well, look, man, I hate to cut you off. I'm at work. I got to get out of here. I just want to show you love and give me some thoughts, man. I love what you do, man. I'm gonna still be listening while I'm working, man. Do whatever you got to do to get over this tonight, bro. I tell you, we might have to have a prayer circle, maybe a little revival or something. I don't know, but some of that Pompeian oil that your grandma used to put the cross on your forehead before you walk out the door. I think it might be one of them situations. It's a time for prayer, family. But
Yeah,
I love y'all. You're doing a great job, man. Hey, y'all keep pounding. Hey, love y'all, man.
Yeah, man. Most deaf, man. I appreciate you, man. You're always welcome to the stage, man. Always welcome to the stage, man. Yeah, man. I mean, let me go back to this. Poppy and David and Tepper, we trust? No, you by yourself, Poppy. You by yourself, man. Yeah, the concert talk just shows how out of touch exactly. Guys, let's talk about that real quick. Does David Tepper not know? And we said this when David Tepper took over. He alluded to the fact that the Carolinas, predominantly North and South Carolina, or I want to say predominantly South Carolina, because I felt like there was always a disconnect, with that. Like Charlotte, and then you got Charlotte, you got North Carolina, then you got South Carolina, right? So I don't know if he may have thought that we were just out of touch with what was going on, or wasn't a vibrant city. Like, I don't think David Tepper. No, we had CIAA, we had all these different things that was coming to Charlotte, right? Cam Newton brought so much shine to this organization. In 3 years, you got old white grandmothers dabbing. Don't know what dabbing is, but dabbing, you know what I mean? Doing it. Cam Newton brought that. You got rappers on the sideline at home games during the regular season. The entertainment was there. The stadium was packed out. You cannot tell me that from we can skip 2013, 2012, 2011. No, what's that? 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18. I know for a fact 6 years that stadium was packed out with Panthers fans. Bring my boy on here. What's going on? He dab on him, right?
What up, man?
Jack Shiesty, what's going on, SLR? What's going on, man? What's going on, you guys?
What's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Let me throw y'all avatars up here, man. So, yeah, like I was saying, I don't think David Tepper understands that before he got here, the Panthers were lit. like he did this to us. Yeah, he did this to us. Yeah.
30 and
ahead,
63.
Man. How y'all feel, man?
30 and 63. That's all I got to say. Absolute catastrophe. This got to be the worst thing to ever happen in the history of the Panthers. It's sad what David Tepper did to this franchise with so much promise. It's truly sad.
It is, man.
It's sad. And the sad part is he don't give a fuck.
He don't, because while we hear crying and complaining, he's still getting that money. He's still getting that money.
I'm trying to figure out what was the reason for you to leave your palatial state in Pittsburgh or in New York to come to Charlotte for a 12-minute interview where you just could have put a statement out. I didn't have to see you.
He started feeling himself.
I didn't have to see you. Go ahead.
Like after he was in Pittsburgh, he started feeling himself. Yeah, I've been around these organizations. I think I know a thing or two about how to run a team. He don't know nothing.
Why? He was a minority owner with Pittsburgh.
Exactly. He doesn't know anything. He thinks because he was around a team that he could magically run a team out of thin air because he had the money. Like, that's not true. If that was the case, then we wouldn't be 30 and 63 now, would we?
And see, that's the problem. I said before, he's Daniel Snyder 2.0. And see, Roger Goodell, they got all this money, vet these guys out, send them to ownership university. So we won't have to end up with owners like David Tepper. He's in for the money. He's seen this was a distressed asset. He's seen this as a flip. And this is how he's treating it. And you remember he said before, he never said about bringing Super Bowls or bringing championships. He thought about filling the Panthers Stadium up 70,000 for Elton John and Beyonce and making this the entertainment capital. Then you see within 2 years of his ownership, he bought a soccer team here. Once he got that soccer team, we should have known right then and there it was over with. He don't give a fuck about this franchise.
No, he doesn't care, man.
He doesn't care. He done flip money. He done double his money. He's gonna quadruple his money. Like I said, I'm looking at 2030, somewhere in that range. I'm looking at
God dang, 2030.
Yes, this team being up for sale. This team being up for sale. Yes,
up for sale.
Up for sale.
I hope sooner.
Once he run this franchise into the ground, once he stopped getting money from Panthers fans, he gonna sell the team, and by that time, the fans are gonna be gone. He's gonna have like bled this franchise dry, and then sell it for even more money.
Because once the ownership
right now the Panthers are worth about $6 billion right now. So I mean, it's an amazing exit strategy right now that if he does do that. He came in with $2 billion and leave out with over 6 possibly. I mean, hey,
He ain't going nowhere right now.
He flipped this like renovating a house, man.
But the key thing is he's not done flipping. He's not done flipping. Because once the sponsorships, the city of Charlotte, South Carolina, everybody start turning on him. Once he going red, it's going to happen. It's going to be like a Daniel Snyder move. It's going to happen. How can you feel going to the owner meetings and you the second richest person in the building, but you the dumbest person in the building?
Yeah.
How did that look? How did that look?
Yeah. That's what Big Smurf said earlier, man. Like, hey, Big Smurf, you was on it, man. And I do believe that, man. I believe that this is his 10-year plan. This is his 10-year plan to go ahead and make this money and sell his team and get up out of here with no Super Bowls.
Good is gone. You see, he couldn't get the Charlotte Hornets. He couldn't buy that. They're not gonna let him get the Carolina Hurricanes. So what is he gonna do? He ain't gonna be able to bring a baseball stadium here. He's not winning. He's not doing nothing. He's gonna make his money. He gonna have to where the valuation could be at $8 billion. So once he sell the team, this will be the highest sold team in the NFL. That's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna go. The man don't want to be here. It's just money.
Yeah. When I saw that press conference today, he started talking about soccer, and he started talking about how he was the reason why Messi came here. He was like talking as if Charlotte was just this. We'll just say it's this like junk town. It was this bad town before he came here. He thinks that he's like Jesus and made this like entire city the way it was, when we all know that's not true.
Facts.
Talking crazy, talking about when he took the reins over, when he took the organization over, it was such a distress and messed up from the organization. You're not looking what I'm doing behind the scenes, building blocks, the organization, from the staff, from medical, this and that. Listen, bro, you can have all this shit done within 2 years, but you're not failing to tell anybody how you spent almost $200 million on that training facility. And when you didn't get your way with the city of Charlotte and South Carolina, we're gonna pay 80% of the bill. How you just call that shit off? Talk about that. How we still playing in a bubble? How you told your team he told the team they could not step on the Carolina Panthers stadium until soccer season was over with.
That's a fact.
Hey, what's up, Pete?
What's up, Poppy? How you doing, man? What's up, Heat, man? How y'all feel about Chris Tabor words, man? How y'all feel about that interview?
I don't believe him. Like the guy said, we got a fresh set of knee pads. Do what that thing.
I think we should have made a Giro the interim.
Like I said yesterday,
for what?
I'm pretty sure Evero and Thomas Brown both were offered a job and said hell no.
Yeah,
they wasn't offered the job. The only person that was offered the job was Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell said he didn't want it. So Jim Caldwell was running the shots. Believe it or not, he's the head coach. He's an offensive coordinator. He's going in the room, closing the door, and he's talking to David Tepper personally. He's calling all the shots.
How you know that, SLR?
That's happening, bro. Listen, okay, you got to remember this. You got how Jim Caldwell name come up in so many conversations when he's not doing it. Under Frankie Wright, he was talking about Jim Caldwell behind the scenes doing this, and that. Then as soon as Frankie Wright get fired, Jim Caldwell name pops up again. Now Jim Caldwell is calling plays, or Thomas Brown is calling plays in. What the fuck is going on here? Just name Jim Caldwell the coach, because the word was coming out a couple of weeks ago that was going to be it. If Jim Caldwell would accepted it, he would be the interim coach right now.
Hey, Pete.
What's up,
Right
now?
You know, with the Tabor thing, you know what? I feel good, man. Why not? We've been losing all year. Why not believe? If he turns it around and we do something good, we all gonna be having a good time. If we still losing, we still gonna be making content. Either way, a change happened. We gotta accept it. Tabor's in the
Only
seat.
ways up from here.
Yeah, Tabor's in the seat for a reason, right?
Yeah, he's in the seat.
I guarantee you this: we will know Tabor is the mole if they hire a whole new coaching staff and Tabor stays a special teams coach.
But you know who I think the mole is?
That could be true though. But
because from the Matt Rule situation, he's the only one that stayed.
What's the reason? What's the reason keep him around though? If you're gonna clean house, clean everybody out, flush it.
When did Chris Tabor get there with Scott Fitterer?
Huh?
With Scott Fitterer, who was there first, Scott Fitterer or Chris Tabor?
Honestly, bro, Chris Tabor's he's the only lone survivor. He just survived through a couple regime changes.
So when did Scott Fitterer get there?
Right after
2021.
Yep.
2021.
You remember?
And then Tabor came in 2022, right? And then now he's the guy in 2023. He was an interim coach. He got hired here he got hired here as a special teams coach by Scott Fitterer. Scott Fitterer didn't get fired. They fired everybody else. They bring in Tabor. If Tabor stays on the team next year, that means he was undermining Matt Rule and he was undermining Frank Wright. Because somebody got to be telling somebody something.
I highly doubt that, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I believe that wholeheartedly because the NFL is a dog-eat-dog world, man. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Okay, you saying that you don't believe me, but we supposed to believe Jim Caldwell been calling the shots and he been at home.
He has.
He was calling the shots. Come on,
listen,
man. No, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Jim Caldwell resume only can get in the door. Nobody else resume can get in David Tepper's door other than Jim Caldwell. I'm just being
Frank
factual.
Wright's resume did.
Nah, I know they did.
Frank Wright got hired, right?
There was a civil war within it. It was a civil war.
Tim Brown got hired. Thomas Brown got hired. Evero got hired. They were in Tepper's office. They had 2-hour interviews, right? Everybody's been in his office, man.
But check this out. Wouldn't it make sense if you just gave Thomas Brown or Evero the job? Simple.
No, it
we
wouldn't.
wouldn't even be questioning
it would
this.
not,
We
because
wouldn't
if
even
we
be
lose the rest
questioning
of the
this.
season, if we lose the rest of the season, we're gonna get fired, dude. Like, if we want to keep this, if we want to keep what we got going on, Chris Tabor can get fired at the end of the year, right? He's a special
Chris Tabor giving props to? Who was Chris Tabor giving props to? Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell. So that means Jim Caldwell is calling the motherfucking shots. You can best believe
he was calling the shots. Don't you think the offense would have changed from the beginning?
He ain't got to change the offense. He has the key. He can get in David Tepper's door. He can talk to Tepper. Hey, nobody else can do what Caldwell's doing right now.
Yeah, I don't believe that too much, SLR. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't believe that.
God, bro. I know I say some wild stuff, but at least my stuff is believable.
Hey, I mean, Frank was talking. Frank was talking to Tepper every Monday night or Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Every week.
Tepper was,
they use Jim Caldwell's name just to have relevancy, man.
We know who run the show. We know
they use his name for relevancy. Nobody on our staff has any relevancy besides Jim Caldwell.
But check this out.
That's why they use his name.
But check this out, though. I don't know why people want to think that Scott Fitterer is not going to get fired. Trust me, he's going to get fired. We don't know when he's going to get fired. He could get fired Sunday. He could get fired next Sunday. Hell, he might be fired now.
Okay, can I ask you this?
I have a theory on why Fitterer isn't fired yet.
Go ahead.
SLR, I'm going to ask you this right here. if Tepper was gonna get fired, right? He's the only person that was there during the Matt Rule era. Why would you fire your new coach, bro? You would fire the GM and then hire a new GM because you brought in a new coach to change the organization.
I
But
mean,
he
that
kept the
shows
same figurehead.
that
Like
shows
he ain't
you
going nowhere.
that shows you that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, you can be buddy with somebody. Yeah, you can have Thanksgiving with them. You can have Christmas with them, whatever. But business is business. And on this situation, it's not going to be about the friendship. It's going to be about business. And if David Tepper say he hear us, he feels the way we feel now, you will fire your homeboy. You will make it happen. Y'all can do VRs, all this and that in the all season, whatever you want to do. But you got to let him go.
I have a theory on why he's still here.
Hey, hold that theory real quick, hey guys. If you haven't, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Prime, man, we are over 1,000 right now, and we appreciate you guys. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and other social media platforms. So if you could, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Tack, go ahead, man.
There's no way Scott Fitterer is still here after Matt Rule, so I think it has to be blackmail or something. Because there's no way. It gotta be. He's blackmailing like Fitter. He's blackmailing Tepper or something. He got some information that if it's let out, then
I mean, I wouldn't say it's blackmail, but you gotta look how he got Scott Fitterer. Scott Fitterer was given a cup of coffee in Seattle. Scott Fitterer was a cap guy. He was never a GM guy. Scott Fitterer came over here to fix the cap. He was never known to be a good GM. That was the problem. You could have brought him over here to fix the cap, but you gave him to fix the cap and being the GM. He's awful being the GM. That's the problem. We know nothing about Scott Fitterer.
Real quick, let me ask the panel this, and I want the panel to answer this question. At what point in Scott Fitterer's tenure here do you think we made a turn for the worse? Heat, go ahead.
You really want to know, right? You really want to know?
Yeah.
We traded Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore.
Okay.
And we didn't even have to. That's the crazy part. You could have kept your number 9 pick. You could have kept DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey. Who in the NFL mind gives up present first round picks when you got future first round picks you can give away? Just the same way they were doing us when we had Brian Burns. 2 future first round picks. It wasn't no present first round pick. What the fuck we do? We go give up the present. Who does that? Come on, you could have had Bryce Young and could have had Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. You wasn't doing up a swapping picks from 9 to 1. Scott Fitterer got to go, man.
What you think, Heat? What you think, Heat?
I mean, obviously the McCaffrey trade. Who do we have now that we got from that trade?
Shit, nobody.
I mean, I can't think of nobody off the top of my head. What did we gain?
Draft capital. You got draft capital that will let it get Bryce Young
and DJ Johnson.
Yeah.
So we could have kept McCaffrey. Still played like shit. Still kept DJ Moore, and at worst, we'd have got Levis. Levis looks better than Bryce right now.
I mean, you still could have got Bryce Young, but he would have had weapons. That's the difference. You could have kept all your weapons and still could have got Bryce Young.
I don't think we get Bryce Young at 9.
No,
I don't think we get Bryce Young at 9.
We get Levis at 9.
Well, we could have got the number 2 pick. Even if we would have got number 1, we only know it was 2 teams. Houston and Carolina was battling for Bryce Young. Everybody put Bryce on the plateau as number 1. So he was de facto number 1 pick. What Carolina do? Once they got the business that Houston was gonna take Bryce and Will Anderson, they hurried up and jumped the gun. Just that fucking fast. Stupid. You could have ended up with CJ. You could have ended up with AR-15. You could have ended up with Will Levis.
Poppy, what you think, Poppy?
Honestly, when we did that trade for CJ Henderson.
Oh, and gave up Dan Arnold.
Ooh, yeah, that was
you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like when I talk about this Panther stuff, like I'm looking at all this stuff. Like, and I'm saying that hey, I'm going to put my fandom on the line and be like, hey, I'm gonna trust this process. I'm gonna trust everything they're doing. Is everything they're doing messed up right now? Yes. But the turning point started when we traded for CJ Henderson.
God damn.
That
was a pretty bad trade, man.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
It's some more turning points. It's just so many of them. I just can't pinpoint and grab them all.
right.
It's
Yeah,
just
Hey,
so
that trade was really, really bad, man, because
perfect.
Dan Arnold, in my opinion, was like the new arrival of like a Greg Olson, in my opinion. Like he
Pass
wasn't
catcher,
quite
yep.
there, but he was coming along. At least we had a solidified, in my opinion, tight end that was a threat. And then we just traded him away for CJ Henderson that couldn't cover, a fly at that point.
See, because if we'd have kept him and got Trimble still, we would have had like a real good duo right now. Because right now, the only thing we got is Trimble. Like, Hayden
And
Hurst
Sullivan.
hit the pass. Well, Sullivan now, but they weren't
Yeah.
trying to give him no PT until later on.
And
But-
that's another thing. The tight end class was so rich in the draft last year. Didn't even
It
strike.
was.
Hey,
Man,
SLR, hold on.
What the
Hold on. Hey, what did the other dude say that's in the corner? When did he say the turning point happened for
Oh
him?
yeah, Tech. What's your turning point with Scott Federer? Tech
Everything.
Shiesty.
Down to taking Dante Jackson over Stephon Gilmore, over not signing somehow Hassan Reddick, over
God
trading
damn.
for
Keep going.
over trading
Right.
for CJ Henderson. And you know what's funny? He somehow fleeced the Patriots and got Stephon Gilmore for like a 6th-round pick, and he wasn't able to prosper off of it. What do you think our backfield would look like with Stephon Gilmore instead of Dante Jackson? A lot better, right?
No, Dante
Yes.
Jackson would have been a good. He would have slid to the number 2 corner, and then we could have had J.C. Horn sitting in the slot, so we'd have been solid.
We were solid, yo.
I think it was either Dante
y'all
Jackson
see
or
this year, he
Stephon
done got
Gilmore.
slimmed down too. He slimmed down a lot more too.
And then another part, not re-signing Josh Norman to the coaching staff to help out in this. You didn't have to have D'Angelo. You could have had Josh Norman.
You know why that didn't happen?
Why?
That didn't happen is because if you cannot tell what Tepper's trying to do, Jerry Richardson built this house. He is breaking it down. When we start winning, he doesn't want anybody to know anything that happened with the Carolina Panthers before he bought it. That's what's going on right now.
Because he haired up and took that damn statue down. He haired
That's
up
what's
and
going on
took
right now. So that's what I'm saying. Just enjoy the show. Get all this merch that's going to be on sale. Because when we start winning, ain't nobody gonna know that you bought that merch for 60% off during a losing season.
I got plenty of merch I done bought through losing seasons. I'm straight. I'm not spending out another dollar. I'll voice my opinion though. But during the whole time doing this press conference, we all know I come to the conclusion that Bryce Young is not an elevator. You have to put pieces out there to elevate.
Come on, man.
So I'm being straight up. We're gonna be factual about this. If you get this much up for this pick, this guy, and you're number 1, you gotta be an elevator. I'm labeling you as an elevator.
Only reason you're saying that is because CJ is playing so well. CJ,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
That's a fact, Poppy.
I'm never saying that. But from the consensus all the way down, and everybody knows this, he was labeled an elevator, aka processor. Mookie Betts
was labeled as an improviser and a processor.
So what I'm saying is now, since he's not an elevator, what are you going to do to elevate him?
All right, real quick. I'm gonna ask you a question, SLR.
What up?
You take Bryce Young out the huddle. You quarterback right now, right? You the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You give them the play call up under this current offensive line. You call the play out. Everybody gets set. Now you got 3 seconds or less to look at 3 routes. Can you do it up under this current?
I can't do it. I can't do it. But I tell you what, no.
Hold on. Can Tom Brady do it
No.
up under this current?
No quarterback.
Hold on. Can Patrick Mahomes do it up under this current offensive line?
No.
Maybe.
That's the question right there. And that should, and see, when we have these conversations about Bryce, it's hard to evaluate Bryce based on the different components that he's up against. You got 2.3 or 2.5 seconds to get the ball out before you have a
that's true what you're saying. But if you're the number 1 pick, you got $37 million in the bank. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to talk my shit. I'm gonna beat the drum set. I'm going to show that I'm tired of this shit. Why fucking be handcuffed? What are they gonna do to Bryce Young? What are they gonna do to Bryce Young? Huh? For him going off and saying that he wants better, they're going off saying that he wants the offense sped up, they're going off saying I'm tired of fucking clapping the ball with 3 seconds left. Huh? If you're an elevator, you're gonna go
elevate when you have no time to elevate though.
Nah, listen what I'm saying though. If you put everything on me, if I touch the ball more than anybody else, and you put everything on me, you pick me number one, I'm going in David Tepper office, and I'm telling them this is what the fuck need to be changed on the offense. Stop fucking putting me out here like I'm supposed to go out here and continue to say, well, I put my things in the coaches. Well, I just trust the coaches. I just trust the coaches.
But SLR, Nicole Tepper was out there. I'm pretty sure they know it's the offensive line. Nicole Tepper is out there looking at the offensive line practice. Like they know it's the offensive line. Nobody has made a change or any type of trade to make that better. We've just been reusing what we have, and it's not working. So all we're doing is putting a Band-Aid over something that's already busted. You're trying to patch a broken tire. It's not going to work. It's going to keep breaking. You have to go ahead and just get the big boy Michelin, get the Firestone, get the Bridgestone, just get what you need. Because if not, it's going to keep blowing on you. That donut's going to keep blowing, and we cannot.
David Tepper don't drive big wheels.
Bryce Young based on the current situation that the offensive line is giving him. He ain't got no time.
Well, that's not our fault. That's David Tepper. David Tepper bought Bryce Young as a fucking luxury car. He introduced it as a luxury car. This one of the best cars out here. This wasn't no monster truck. This wasn't no goddamn Dodge, no Ford or nothing. This is something you can't fucking buy. Only 1%ers can get this. So if you saying that, he need to fucking play like it then.
How?
Okay, this is what I was saying.
How is he going to play like that?
Listen, when you're the number one pick, you got the right to say what you want to. You should never have to go out there and put your life in danger and be handcuffed by the mouth. That's stupid.
Using your same car analogy. If I have a Jaguar and I don't put oil in the freaking Jaguar, am I mad at the salesman?
Now we're gonna come down to David Tepper. He got the shit from NASA. This shit don't take oil. This is some shit you can't get. This is something you can't buy.
But this is what I'm saying. We're placing the blame at the wrong spot. You place the blame on the owner of the car.
That's right. That's right. But it's still end of the day, you have to elevate. You got
Tepper. Don't place the blame on Bryce Young. It ain't Bryce Young's fault.
Bryce gonna get it. He gonna get the blame.
You cannot put the full totality of the blame on Bryce.
Oh, I'm not putting it, but Bryce get 80% of it because he touched the ball the most. So you're gonna get 80% of the blame. The other 20 gonna spread out.
Let me get a chance to speak on that.
Go ahead.
Let me get a chance to speak on that.
Go ahead.
If you actually watch the game and you see Bryce Young under center or in shotgun most of the fucking time, he ain't changing the play. He's running what they're telling him to run.
That's a shame.
But that's not on Bryce.
That's a shame.
Because you're telling
your quarterback, you're not enabling your quarterback.
Hold on, SLR. Hold on, SLR. Let him get his full thought out. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So he's not calling the plays. He's running the play he's told to run. He's sitting there listening, telling the play, and running it. And I guarantee if you look at his demeanor and how he is pre-snap, he don't want to run that play. But they're not letting him audible. They're not letting him change the play at the line to do what a quarterback needs to do in the NFL today. He's not going to win if that's the way he's required to play. And that's not on him. That's on the coaches.
So why can't he go in the coach's office and complain to him and tell him, change the fucking offense?
Okay, hold on. Hey, SLR, right? When you go to a job, right? Let's say you're a hot shot welder. They just hired you right off the street. You go in there, you're making more money than everybody else. You're not going to go in there and tell your boss how we should do things. You're going to go in there and listen to what you're going to get told until you get there a while and build your reputation. He doesn't have no NFL reputation to be able to walk in somebody's office and say, hey, this ain't going to work. He's going to have to run it to show them that, hey, it doesn't work. And then he has to build trust with them as they're building trust with him. And then they're going to work together to be able to function on the field at an elite level.
I understand what you're saying, but hey, it's a different level when you're playing sports. You can go in the office you want to. Shit.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he
but
crazy
okay,
as hell.
he's
Well,
going
we
to
don't have
go in the
nothing-
office and say what, and he going to say what that hasn't already been said by thousands of media outlets. Like David Tepper watches, he probably watches us. He's probably watching this right now in his basement, the same basement he told us to climb out of. He's probably in his basement right now watching us in Pittsburgh, trying to figure out how the heck he got in this position. Like he knows, David Tepper knows what the issue is. That's why his wife was out there looking dumb at the offensive line practice for the past 2 weeks. Like they know. But the coaching staff and Scott Fitterer, they're getting Blake Martinez. Have we seen Blake Martinez on the field? I sure enough haven't.
Nah,
I
I
think
ain't
he got
seen.
signed. He got
I ain't
signed to
seen-
another team.
We got Tariq Cohen. He on injured reserve. You know, we keep going back and forth with Jake Luton. We sign him, we cut him. We sign him, we sign him. It's dumb stuff. The glaring hole in this offense, it has to start with the offensive line. It's the offensive line. There's no other place to start from. You can go to Bryce. You can go to Bryce if you want to. And I've even said Bryce has made some bad decisions. When he has had time, he's been 50-50 on his decisions. I get it.
Yeah, but
He's a
still a
rookie. It's going to happen.
Yep.
But we can't put the full blame on Bryce as someone that's supposed to be an elevator when he ain't got nothing to help him elevate. He ain't got nothing to help him elevate with, man.
All right. Okay. All right.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, SLR.
Nah, because you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mean, I agree with you. So in the off season, we're gonna give him something to elevate. And then after that, if he don't elevate, I don't want to hear about it. He ain't getting no pieces in that. That's
Can I say something real quick?
He was never labeled as that. He was never labeled as an elevator. He was labeled as a processor and an improviser.
That's an elevator. That's
No,
the
it's
elevator.
not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You got
Yeah,
it.
it
You're right,
is.
man. Yeah.
You ain't gonna sit here and talk about Mookie Betts, Steph Curry, Patrick Mahomes, them elevators. Nah, that's what you said about Bryce. So
Who
I didn't
named
say
him
Bryce
that?
was an elevator. He's an
Who named him
improviser.
that? The
He's an
owner that
I
improviser
heard
and
a
a
processor and an improviser.
That's what
David-
he's that's what
David
he's known
Tepper.
for. He's not playing good right now because he can't improvise in the pocket. When somebody busts Icky's ass, he got freaking K May sitting in his lap. He can't improvise. If he was an elevator, like you're saying, right? That means the line shouldn't matter at all. The weapons shouldn't matter at all. Bryce should just be able to walk across the field and score as many touchdowns as he wants to.
well, I mean Chris Tabor said he's gonna let him elevate. He's not gonna handcuff him.
So that's the
So
word
we
you're
gonna
using
see.
because he said
We
that,
gonna
not
see.
because of what the scout said.
We
So you're
gonna
using
see.
what Chris Tabor's saying.
Chris Tabor said he's not going to
Okay, I got
handcuff Bryce. He's not going to handcuff him. So Bryce should be able to call audibles, change plays, run if he needs to. You should not be patting the ball. You should be getting sacked so much. So we're going to see.
Well, okay. I'll say this now. I want to bring a little bit of context to this. Just like we said earlier. Remember, Frank Wright just got fired yesterday, right? So
Yeah.
last week they didn't practice much last week before they went into Tennessee. It was Turkey Day. It was getting out turkeys, Thanksgiving, this, that, the other. So we're saying in 3 days we have a whole new offensive install. It's not going to look totally different. By the next week's game, we should probably see some stuff that's going to be a little bit different. Should be a little bit different. But I think you give it 2 weeks to kind of see how this Thomas Brown's offensive, strategy or scheme is going to pan out. I think it's just too short to kind of grade everything this week against Tampa Bay. It's too short. It just happened. You got to give him another week so he can kind of put some stuff together. I mean, and even at that point, it's like it's 5 games left. Like,
Hey, P.
yeah,
You remember Frank was saying that Thomas Brown was calling plays he never would have called. So, like, what we're going to see is whatever, like, when he said nothing's going to change, basically it's like, oh, all these plays Frank White never wanted to run, we're already losing anyway. Let's run them.
Yeah.
To see what we got. So, like, that's what we're going to see. It's going to be the offense. It shouldn't be no miscues like anything else because you're not going to be able to install anything that quick. The offensive line's in shambles, so you can't install the protection that's there. You better be lucky that it's even there. Like, because if somebody gets hurt, we don't have nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I truly feel like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've grown to start to like Bryce, but I get it. Like if CJ Stroud was here and we was having these same issues, like I would definitely understand. Listen, man, this dude ain't got no time. Like he's struggling. Like even when Cam, I mean, bro, do y'all remember the Super Bowl? What's old boy name? Rimmers?
Mike Rimmers.
Mike Rimmers.
Bro, I
Yes.
want to give that dude 2 to the. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
And then what was crazy? Mike Rimmers ended up
Yeah,
playing.
Von Miller was throwing him.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
bro. Offensive linemen. They had
Man,
Mike
Von Miller.
Rimmers.
Von Miller was having a crazy day on them. And what's crazy,
bro.
Mike Rimmers went and signed a free agent contract with Minnesota and played decent. Played better than what he played in the state of Carolina. That'd be the crazy part. That'd be the crazy part.
Everybody leaves Charlotte and Carolina,
Yeah.
man, and go play better.
Man,
James Bradbury probably is like James
that
Bradbury.
hurts my heart still. I blame
James
David
Bradbury
Gettleman.
dodged the bullet.
They got up on it. Yeah.
I blame
They probably
Gettleman
got
for
the
that.
best deal. Yeah, man. Big Smurf says Brady told TB who and what he wanted to succeed. Bryce ain't got that pull like that yet. That's a fact.
Nah, he most definitely don't. He most definitely don't. I'm not saying
Go ahead, SLR.
I just feel like, man, Bryce, he ain't what we want. He ain't the cup of tea. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He may be good for another team. He just ain't not here. It's
All
just
right.
not.
Hey, okay.
His
But
rookie
hey,
season.
let's go down this road real quick. Compare Bryce to Baker. Bryce hasn't had that many batted balls compared to Baker, who I believe is an inch or two taller than him. He's a vet inside the NFL. And even from Cleveland to Carolina to the Rams to now Tampa Bay, he's still getting his balls batted. Pause.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and we have Bryce Young, who is 5'9", who has, for all, accounts, has taken 40 freaking sacks. And has gotten right back up. Has gotten right back up to sit back in shotgun again to do it again. He got sacked 3 times in a row, bro, against the Cowboys, and got right back up. Like, I understand it. I understand the frustration. Trust me, I do. Because when I pull up, I don't think you guys remember this. I think it was maybe 2017. Yeah, I think it was 2016. 2019. I was going back and forth traveling or whatever. And I think that's when we had Cam. I think that's right when Cam got injured. He still was playing injured. And either 2018 or 2019. And I was like, yo, why don't we take this dude out? Like, it's aggravating. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But the scheme, the whole issue is they didn't take Cam out because Cam's franchise quarterback. Cam got injured, still dealing with a shoulder injury. Can't throw the ball far, man. And they stuck with him. That was their fault back then. That wasn't an O-line issue. This is an O-line issue. So Bryce doesn't have enough time to do what Cam Newton was doing. Cam was throwing balls that was like sinking. Like they wasn't getting anywhere because he had a bad shoulder. So the two is totally different. And the reason why those two scenarios differ is because one, that was a personal issue with his body. Bryce don't have a personal issue with his body. I think Bryce Young can sling it down the field. We haven't seen it yet. Of course, maybe for a couple passes when he's had a decent pocket. But I think he can still do those passes. We just got to get the scheme that fits around him, just like they did in New Orleans with Drew Brees. I think you gotta fit a scheme around him. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
No, you speaking factual points. I mean, I said before, even with the offensive line we had now during the season, to help the offensive line out, run the ball, and speed the game up. Bryce Young should be snapping the ball with 15, 12 seconds on the clock. That's what you should do. You wear the defense down. That also helps the offensive line. That also going to help you not get sacked so much. You being back there, having to be Peyton Manning, do all this other bullshit is not going to happen, bro. I'll be trying to help Bryce out. Bryce should be going there, bro. I want to snap the ball with 15 seconds left. Come on, help me out a little bit. He even said the last week he preferred the offense to be more up-tempo for his standard.
Right.
They won't listen to him. They go right back to that same bullshit again. Y'all gonna get this man
can I
real.
say something
He's
about
gonna fuck
Bryce
around and have a shoulder. He's gonna fuck around and have some type of big time shoulder injury or something. If they keep going that route and not give that man no protection.
Go ahead, Tack.
Bryce reminds me of Tua a lot.
Can y'all hear him?
No, your mic went out, Ted.
Yeah, his mic went out.
Tack,
Hello?
Tack, you still there?
Hello?
We can't
There
hear
you go.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Bryce reminded me of Tua in his rookie year. He had a bad O-line. He had really no good receivers. And he wasn't playing that well. But you have to give Bryce something to work with. All right. If your best wide receiver is a 33-year-old Adam Thielen, which he is really good, but he's not the future of this team. So we need to get a wide receiver like T. Higgins, some guy who can get open, out-muscle people, can catch in traffic and catch when he's wide open. Some guy with good hands, you know? We need to, build an O-line around him because at this point in time, I think Icky should be done. Right? He's had a absolute second-year slump, something I don't think I've ever seen in the NFL. It's bad for Akeem Ekwonu that I think we really need to think about moving on from him. I think the only pieces there that should be kept are Bozeman, not Bozeman. Well, yeah, Bozeman because we paid him, and Moten. I think in free agency we should go after Eric Fisher and some maybe guards to boost the O-line because remember what happened last year when we actually had a good offense? All of a sudden, Sam Darnold was looking like something we've never seen before. And if you same thing to Bryce with an actual receiver, he can do. Right now, everyone's blaming Bryce. Everyone's saying, oh, he's a bust after year one, even though he never had good coaching. Now this season, we have a chance to go after Ben Johnson. We have a chance to fix the O-line with $50 million in cap, and we can sign T. Higgins too. So if we can get that, I don't think Bryce might take a little bit of a leap in year two, like Trevor Lawrence did. But then in year three, I think after we fix everything, if we get the right general manager to do this, then we're gonna see. This year would just look like a fever dream, and we're gonna see an elite version of Bryce Young. I truly believe that.
Go ahead, Heath. What you about to say?
I mean, put that on your Christmas list, I guess. Santa check one of them off. But listen, ain't none of that happened. And if you think we're going in free agency to spend a lot of money, that's not happening. No free agent want to come here and play here, and we shouldn't because it's not going to help Bryce out. Build through the draft. Build your offensive line through the draft so they can grow with Bryce.
Yeah. I do agree with that.
Everything should be cadence on. Not only that, what I want them to do is make trades. Find a way to move up in the bottom of the first round. There's players that you can trade in this year's draft. If not, to get multiple draft picks back so you can build, find your offensive lineman, you can find your wide receiver, and you can find you a tight end, and find you a star center. Find you a future center. That's what you need to do. Find him in the draft. So if you're going to bring Bozeman back one more year, we got his replacement the year following that. But after that, either cut Bozeman, because Bozeman trash. What we seen him do, letting them guys just slide past him in that Tennessee game, and the week against Dallas, come on, man. I don't care about him being David Tepper's favorite guy on the team. They go eat turkey together. I don't give a fuck about that. Bryce Bozeman is playing trash right now. So if you gotta replace him, replace him. This could be a quick fix. It may not happen in this season, but you can set Bryce up for 25 season where we can be competitive and maybe strike for a playoff. But we have to hit on every pick in the draft and make moves to get additional draft picks in this draft to supplement us not having that first round pick. And that's just facts. Because remember, we don't have a second round pick next year. We got a first round pick, but we don't have no second. That goes to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
So this is a real big draft. We had to hit on every pick. And once again, take your free agency money and spend on the defense to help the defense more. Maybe next year we'll be number one. So then that give the offense a little more time to grow. Spend your money on the defense. You don't have to spend your money on the offense. The offense should come through the draft. That's how it should go.
Go ahead.
All right. So I've been saying it for 2 weeks now. Games won in the trenches. We're stuck with Icky. We cut him $16 million dead cap space. We can't afford that. We cannot afford that. So we're stuck with him. We're stuck with him until at least his 4th year. We still got 2 more years with him.
What about
we can move him to left guard? We can move him to left guard.
We cannot move him to left guard. He will suck.
Move him to left guard.
Hold up.
It's not going to work.
So P said Moten, right?
Yeah. What about Moten?
Moten is a $24 million cap hit. We cut him. If we wait post June 1st, it's still 12. We can't afford that. We're stuck with the players we got.
Tepper can't slide him some money up under the table.
I mean, we've got, like I said, we got like $40 million in cap space, but some of that's going to go on Burns if we keep Burns. Some of that definitely needs to go on Derek Brown.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that's going to potentially, with them two sign, we structure it right. We might lose $10 million of that on them 2 players for 2024. So that leaves us with $30 million and a draft.
On which player? You talk about
Derek Brown and Brian Burns. If we sign both of them and structure it, at best we're looking at taking $10 million off the cap.
If they were smart, they let Brian Burns go. Stop holding on to players. We would come in an organization where we constantly just hold on to players. You want to hold on to Jeremy Chin. You want to hold on to Brian Burns. You want to hold on to you. You want to hold on to me. Goddamn, if I ain't playing that good and I'm telling you I don't want to be here, I'm fucking tired of losing. I've been here fucking 5 years. We still losing. Fucking let me walk. You want me to take your fucking money?
If we let Brian Burns go, the whole purpose why we went to a 3-4 was because of Brian Burns.
I don't give a fuck about Louisville's better than Brian Burns.
We have no edge rusher. We have no edge rusher.
Man, you listen.
That is how our defense is set up.
Just like they said about running backs, you can find them anytime. They're a dime in a dozen.
We don't find dominant edge rushers.
It's the NFL.
Name 10 dominant edge rushers in the NFL right now.
Here we go with this. Man.
Name 10.
You trying to listen?
I bet you can name 5.
If you want Brian Burns that bad, you can have him. You want him on the team? Go ahead. I don't care. I'll tell you. I don't want him. I want him off.
We have a team geared a certain way that we need to complement, not get rid of.
You ain't use them like Michael Parsons. You're not using them like the Bosa's. You're not using them like the Watts. So get him out.
Yeah, so you name the 5 top edge rushers in the NFL.
Man, you didn't even get a taste of.
Name a mid-level that's going to give us 6 to 10 sacks a season.
You had the nerves to want to get Montez Sweat. You was willing to get Montez Sweat. The contract he's getting out for the Chicago Bears, but you was going to franchise tag Brian Burns. That don't fucking make sense. When you could have got that money to Brian Burns, and you think Brian Burns want to stay here? Y'all holding that man hostage.
Well, that's what we do. We let great players go.
Let them go. It's the NFL. We can find more.
Hold on, Big Smurf. Are you serious? We just signed Matthias Farley back again.
Oh Lord, damn.
God.
So my thing is, I've been saying this for 2 weeks now, is we don't have to be dominant one phase of the offense. We got to be decent at one to open up the other.
True.
We have 1,000 rushing yards in 11 games. Last year we had 2,200 on the season. Mm-hmm. We're dead last in rushing yards, so we can't open up the pass. We don't have a good passing game because we got shit O-line. We can't open up the run. We've got to beef up one of those facets of the game so that we can open up the other. And until we do that, we're going to be 1-16.
So what's the quarterback best friend then? What's the quarterback's best friend?
That running back.
Offensive line and a running game.
Yeah.
So give Bryce Young his best friends. Give him his best friends.
The issue that starts with the trenches. What I go back to the O-line.
I agree right with you. So
we're stuck with what we got. We got to build on it.
Okay, when I say build, I don't mind drafting players and replacing Brady Christian if he gets beats out. If Moten get beat out of his job, if Quano get beat out of his job, so fucking what? It is what it is. If you that good, you would have held your job down.
I
wouldn't be going in the draft and drafting players, but it has to be done like that. This is the new age of the NFL. Next man up. Your job is not secure each year in the NFL. Your job could be given to some motherfucking body else who was a free agent, didn't even get drafted, came from the practice squad, worked his way up, and then took your fucking job.
So let me ask you a question. The only way for us to get rid of Icky, would it have to be like a trade situation, or are we still under that contract? Like we just can't cut him, right?
If we trade him, we're still gonna be paying on some of his contract, just like we're paying on McCaffrey's.
Okay.
There's no team that's going to take his $7 million. This for next year, it's a $7 million cap hit. There's no team going to take that full $7.5 million on. We're going to have to pay some of that against our cap. Probably $2 to $3 million of it, and they'll take 4 or 5.
Right.
And the thing is with Icky, what Icky need to do is get in the lab, look in the mirror. Do you want to be the best left tackle in the NFL? That's what he need to fucking look in the mirror.
But he's not.
If you don't want to be the best, if you don't want to be the best, go in the office and tell them guys to trade me. I'm not gonna give you my max effort, so trade me. Get trade value for whatever you can, because that's ridiculous. He's a prototypical left tackle, but he playing like a fucking left guard or a fucking right guard.
He can't step to the left.
That's what I'm saying. So what he's gonna do? He's gonna end up getting beat out of his job. He's gonna end up getting benched, and he's gonna end up losing his job.
Icky from the waist down don't work right, man.
Good. And this is my thing. This is my thing with Frankie Wright. You didn't have no balls, man. You didn't have no balls to bench him. You didn't have no kahunas on nothing.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I agree with that. But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. Who we got behind Icky that's gonna do any better?
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do it.
Because
if it don't work, go back to Icky. But you have to try. You can't never be scared in the NFL. Scary money don't make no money.
But see, SLR, I think this is the issue. I remember when Frank Wright was first being inducted here or had his interview here and all that press conference stuff. He kept the O-line how it was, and we know where the production came from. It came because we ran that rock. But Frank Wright said emphatically 2 weeks ago that we don't want to be a downhill, smash mouth football team.
Sure did.
Run the ball football team.
Yet
the very next game, we run the ball like against the Dallas Cowboys, like it ain't nobody's business. I mean, it wasn't beautiful, but we ran the ball more. So I mean, I think he realized that even with keeping that offensive line that we had last year, it didn't fit the scheme of what he was trying to do.
Exactly.
And they wanted Bryce. They wanted Bryce to be like what Poppy says, air Bryce. They wanted Bryce to air the ball out, and it just didn't work. We saw, but it didn't work because they didn't do the simple things like pre-snap motions.
Hey, P, I call him Air Bryce for a reason because he jump a little bit when he throws.
He do.
So that's why I call him Air Bryce.
He do. I like that. I might get a shirt like that with him doing a little screen pass with
shut up,
Air Bryce. Nah, because it's embarrassing. Not only that, Fox even makes it worse when they zoom in on it. Like they know he fucking 5'9". I don't want to see him jump past. We know he's that. We know that. That this is not a given. He was doing that shit in the preseason, during the all season OTAs. We know that. This my thing.
I think he was jumping because the times where we saw it, it was a screen pass, and they was coming on a very very wide outside linebacker blitz. So to get it over him, he had to do a little jump.
But the crazy part is though, we had the same offensive line last year that struggled in the pass game last year with multiple quarterbacks till we got Sam Darnold, till we started running the ball, doing play action. It helped the offensive line out. Now, Frankie Wright had plenty of time. He was one of the first coaches hired. So he's seen the roster. Why did he not make changes then? If he knew this was not a good passing offensive line, why didn't he go make changes before the start of the season?
Because he got overruled from the beginning when he said he was going to start Andy Dalton.
Bad management. Bad management.
Hey,
Set up for failure.
Real with you, man. I'm gonna keep it real, right, dude? When you're in this type of business, how we conduct business is not how they conduct business. Like you're not gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, this, and this." It's a fraternity with them owners. If an owner blacklists a coach, no other owner is going to really try to hire that coach. Nobody is trying to rub anybody the wrong way. They're trying to do their job. Now, when you're Bill Belichick, you can tell Robert Kraft, "Hey, I got some 6 rings." You wait the process. Frank Wright can't do that right now because he just got fired from the Colts, and then he came here. He didn't have no juice, so he had to go along to get along.
So you saying that he's supposed to be a head coach? He can't come and get no recommendation like, yo, I need the offensive line changed a little. This offensive line wasn't good in pass protection last year. I'm trying to protect the quarterback. Can we get some pass?
Hey, so
offensive
I need you to break this down for me. Are you talking about one specific thing, or are you talking about as a broad spectrum? Because if you're going broad spectrum,
I'm going on what was said by PP. One, we already knew the offensive line was already trash. You knew this is a run-oriented offensive line, but we have a pass offensive line type of head coach. Why didn't he come in, make some recommendations, and change the offensive line a little bit? You didn't have to go in with the same offensive line. You didn't.
Dude, what was our salary cap this year?
I think it was second most in the league.
Now, all right. So, what was our salary cap this year? And then you tell me what offensive lineman was free agent for us to get.
I got those numbers if you want them.
Listen,
no, hold on. I didn't ask you.
I ain't ask you. You signed Adam Thielen. You signed Adam Thielen.
I said offensive line, bro. You're not answering the question.
Signed defensive tackles.
What offensive lineman was available for us to sign?
Get no past offensive linemen though. You can sign everybody else, but you are needed to get past offensive linemen though. You're anemic. You're scared.
Who could we have signed this previous offseason, dog? Who was available as offensive lineman?
That's crazy. There's no excuse. You can't make excuses for that.
I'm not making excuses. I'm trying to ask you
basically
a question.
just
You're not trying to answer
Frank
you don't know.
Just
say you don't know. Just say you don't know. And
you
don't know.
But
then name an offensive lineman that was available. Name an offensive lineman that was available this offseason for us to sign. Name one that was available. How am I delusional? Okay, what offensive lineman could we assign this previous offseason to help us out?
You probably thought we were going to beat Tennessee,
What offensive
you probably thought we were going to beat Tennessee.
You
probably thought we were going to beat Dallas, right? You really thought, right? You think we're going to beat Tampa Bay, right? Don't you?
Hell yeah. Dude, I think we're going to win every game. Why not? How you going to tell me how to fan? How you going to tell me how to fan?
We know. You're the new generation fans. We know about you new generation fans. We know about
I'm on Poppy for 20 years. We've been fans since 95.
Who was our first running back we ever got on our roster? Who was our first quarterback? Who was the first quarterback to sign on our team to get the first shoe deal as a quarterback? Do you know who that is?
Me.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know nothing, bro. You just hear me talking. That's cool. Now I know. Now I know how to deal with you.
Me.
I know how to deal with you because I know you don't know. So
Shit. Fuck what you heard. Shit. But no. I mean, you make valid points though. But I'm just saying though, don't never say that the coach can't have something.
If you don't have leverage, you can't do anything.
But Frankie Wright, he's a savant. He's an offensive
What leverage did he have? Okay, so
he's
hold on. Let me ask you this. When did Frank Wright get hired? In January? Hold on, he got hired in January, right?
Shit, maybe earlier than that.
Hold on, man. You a Panther fan,
January
baby.
27th.
He got hired in February, right?
You the one that hired him.
You the one
that accepted his application.
Frank Wright got hired. When did
You
Matt Rule
accepted
get
his
hired?
application.
When did Ron Rivera get hired?
You wanted Ron
2011.
Goldie.
How many
You
playoff
wanted
games did we have
Ron
with Ron?
Goldie.
Bro, you're not answering questions because you're trying to what you're trying to do is say I'm not a real Panther fan.
You want Cam gone
but
too.
What you ran into is that I got questions that you can't answer, so you're just going around it. But it's cool, dude.
Yeah, cool. I heard Jimmy Clausen was your favorite quarterback. I heard. Yeah.
What college did Jimmy Clausen go to?
Yeah. University of Dum Dum.
What college did he go to?
Notre Dame.
All right, fellas. All right,
Hey, let me add to that real quick. Just the numbers.
Go ahead.
So, 2023, we had 5.9 million in cap space left over right now. We had $57 million in dead cap. 18 million of it going to McCaffrey. So we wasn't signing nobody.
Yeah.
Hey,
14.5 million going to DJ Moore.
Hey,
$9
Mickey
million
Lewis
going
them do it.
into Robbie Anderson.
Supernova said enough.
Yeah.
Hey, Heat. So what offensive lineman could we have signed this offseason then?
Nobody worth a fuck. Straight
Exactly.
up.
I rest my
No
point. But
one.
I'm gonna change my name to Poppy Dangerfield, the new era Panther fan.
Please do. Please do.
Hey, I'm just messing with you,
Please do.
SLR.
Hey,
I'm not a person that be holding beef and shit. I'm just talking shit.
Oh no,
I know you're a
it's
Panther
all for the
fan, but
games.
with the with like Panther history and like offensive lineman, dog, that's like my shit. Like that's why I'm just like, hey.
No, I like that. I like that. But let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What's the first thing you tell Bryce Young to do in the offseason?
Oh, the first thing I would tell him to do?
Yeah.
Go on vacation.
I would tell him to follow Aaron Rodgers, man. You need to do a blackout. Get away from everything. Be by yourself. When you come back, check in. We getting to work. Everything that happened last year, don't even worry about it. Because this year is going to be the year to find out if we're going to keep you or we're going to bench you. So that's it.
Yeah.
What can you
Most
do?
Go on
definitely.
vacation.
You're right
You can't
about
do
that.
nothing else.
You're right about that. It's gonna be a big year for him next year. Boy. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hey fellas, we're gonna kill it right there, man. I gotta go ahead and start getting stuff ready for. I got another test I gotta do, man. I gotta be turned in by 9 o'clock. So it was good, man. It was good. Hey, Heat and Poppy, I want y'all and SLR, I want y'all to shout out y'all channels real quick, man. Go ahead, Heat, man. Let them know y'all podcast real quick, man.
All right, so it's Carolina First. We do 2 podcasts a week. Wednesday midweek preview, and we do a post game where we break down every series of the game. Strictly Panthers. We don't talk about anybody else, and nobody else matters.
No doubt. Yeah.
Hey, and we're gonna keep it real. Our thumbnails and everything ain't changing. You're gonna see our logo and us. That's it. So if you're looking for catchy logo, what is it called? The little thumbnail. You're looking for all of that. I ain't doing that. Read the title, hop in. We're gonna talk. That's it.
Hey man, real quick with their podcast, man. You know, it's really, really good content, man. I think you guys will really enjoy it, man. So when you get a chance, Poppy and Heat, y'all shout it out one more time. Or y'all can even, if y'all can, write it in the chat so the guys can see it real quick. Okay, go ahead and write it in the chat. And SLR, go ahead. Let the people know your channel, man.
Yeah, hit me up. SLR News Sports TV. I'll go live twice a day. I maybe go live every day. Who knows? But you know what I'm saying? All Panther content. I do a little other stuff, but right now it's strictly Panther content. Great content on there. And like I said, I appreciate all the podcasters who do this because it's more important that we do this so our voice can be heard because like we're a small market team, but our voices can be heard as a big market team. And I support everybody who do this. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has their right and their opinions about this team. And I want everybody to continue to keep pounding and keep pushing, and better days will come.
Facts.
Most definitely.
Tech Shiesty, last words, man. What you think, man?
Last words. I mean, just keep pounding till the end. Keep pounding.
Hey, hold on. P, I got it. Pause. Right.
Pause. Yeah. Hey, pause. Yeah. Keep pounding to the end. Hey, yo. Yeah. Y'all funny, man. Hey, man, but I appreciate you guys, man. You know, it was good. I'm about to go ahead and end this live, man. But real quick, if you guys have
also, can I shout out something really quick?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Shout out. Go ahead, my brother. You ain't about to do nothing crazy, are you?
He's taking a minute.
PPP.
Say what?
Can I shout out something really quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I on my TikTok account, same name as my username on YouTube. I mainly strictly do Charlotte sports content. So
okay,
it's just there for you to check it out. And thank you for allowing me to do this, PPP.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And so y'all can see it. It's Tech Shiesty. That's his name. So you can find him on TikTok, like he said.
Yeah,
are you on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that?
Nah, not really. I sometimes repost my TikTok videos to YouTube sometimes,
Okay.
and like, yeah, but that's about it.
Facts. Okay. That's what's up, man. Well, y'all go and y'all follow Tech Shiesty, man. But hey, we up out of here,
Appreciate
man.
it.
If y'all haven't, do me one favor, go and subscribe to the channel, man. We're over 1,000, and I just want to thank everybody for helping me get to that 1,000 mark. We're gonna be pushing for 1,500. That's the next giveaway. We ain't gonna do a big giveaway. We may just give one thing out on this next one because I had to spend out 125, and so we're gonna do it a little light. 2,000 mark, we'll go a little big. Pause. But hey, man, this is your host Demetrius with the PPP Panthers Prime Podcast. You know what time it is. Let's go.
Keep pounding.